Bro went from a mansion with decorations to a closet with boxes. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you move. What's good? What's good, y'all? Elijah, what's good, my boy? I'm sorry, my man. We're good over here. What's up? What's up? How you doing, Bruce? What's good, man? I miss y'all. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Oh, man. It's been the longest 2 weeks, bro. It's been the longest 2 weeks. How y'all doing, man? I hope y'all doing better than I am. Shit. What's good? MVP. Oh, we already getting started. We already getting started, bro. Oh, man. Everything is great, bro. Hey, man, how y'all doing today, man? I'm so happy to be back. For whatever reason, the stream is not recording, so we'll have to deal with that. We'll have to deal with that for what it is. But we're back, baby. We're back. How's everybody doing out there, man? How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's had like a good. Was it been like 2 weeks or so? I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be sitting here talking to y'all, man. I appreciate that. That's love, bro. That's love. We happy to have you. Meme era only stream. What does that mean? You always telling me something that I don't even know what's happening. Who you chanting MVP for, bro? And don't tell me a Toronto Raptor or I'm gonna lose it. Don't talk to me about no motherfucking Toronto Raptors, bro. Members only stream. You want to do a members only stream? Did I do something to this? Did I do something? Let me see. I don't know, bro. Members only stream. Are you asking for me to do one? Should I start a what do they call what do they call that one? There's one where you could like sign up for to become a member and all that shit. But yeah, we're in a new spot. We're in a new spot. My handy dandy beanbag is probably the best beanbag you've ever seen, bro. I promise you won't find a beanbag for as cheap as we got it back then. It's you, JC. You are the MVP with your New York Knicks beanie. Yo, that's fucking love, bro. That's love, man. How you guys doing? How you guys doing, man? How you guys been enjoying these games? Have you guys been enjoying these games recently? I mean, I don't. We'll get into it in just a second. Let me intro the show. So welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, we have a lot to talk about because we have about 2 weeks of basketball to go over, right? I think it's roughly about 2 weeks of basketball that we got to go over. And so with that, a lot has happened. First and foremost, how the fuck did those guys get picked up 2 days after I said I was gonna stop, streaming because of the move and whatnot? Like, they couldn't do it that Monday. They couldn't arrest everybody that Monday. No, don't do that. I do not do member only stuff. I'm dead. But yeah, we got gambling in the league, right? And the gambling was so crazy. The gambling was so crazy that everybody forgot Kawhi Leonard in the Clippers situation. He over here hitting game winners like nothing's happening. Meanwhile, they're still under investigation. Luka has come out with the vengeance. LeBron hasn't played. I mean, there's so much going on in the league right now. It's actually kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I highly doubt we'll be able to cover everything today because there's just a lot to cover. But it's been a really exciting season, to say the least. So that's got to be number one, right? When it comes to some predictions that I had going into this season, I told y'all this was going to be another I told y'all this is going to be another good season. And to be honest, it has not disappointed so far. I did forget about Kawhi. Everybody did, bro. Everybody did. I'm watching that post-game interview after he hit the game winner, talking about wet ball, because that's what he's saying when the shot go in. And it's like, bro, like, we all just pretending like he's not under or the Clippers aren't under investigation. Because truth be told, he took the money like that. He really didn't do anything wrong in my book. If somebody want to give him extra money, was he supposed to say no? So I don't know how that worked. But yeah, there's a whole lot going on over there. LeBron old self on the injury report with ice bags on his knees. He's apparently going to the G League. He's been cleared to do 5-on-5 workouts, and he's trying to work himself back to go into the season. And it doesn't really show with last night. But do you guys agree that the Lakers starting off 8-4 is probably one of the worst things that could have happened for LeBron this season? Am I faded for thinking that? Because if LeBron doesn't, if the Lakers don't start 8-4, right? If they're 4-8, then everyone is saying, oh my God, they need LeBron. LeBron got to come back. So then there's this big wave of they need LeBron. They need LeBron. But the fact that Luka has been performing the way he's been performing, and Austin Reeves has been doing what he's been doing, it's kind of taken pressure off of LeBron, but it's also kind of allowing the Lakers to say, we can move on from you. So, excuse me. So I think it's probably, it's feeding to the people that, aren't big fans of LeBron is what I'll say, right? Is what this situation has caused, in my opinion. Dennis Schroeder said no. LeBron olds, who said no about what? No, people always gonna have something to say about Bron. Hopefully this proves he can fixate on a few things and amplify the team because of it. Thunder peaking too early. I do think that the Thunder, the hard thing on a back-to-back, right? On a back-to-back is to pace yourself, right? Because you played, outside of one other team, you played longer than every other team in the league, and you have to still be a top 2-3 seed going into the playoffs with good momentum to also again play the most out of everyone in the league. So I think there is a pacing thing that they have to learn, and we'll see if they're able to do that. Knicks need players. I think we need a lot, Bruce. I'm not even going to lie to you. I can't even fake it. I can't even lie. I think we need a lot. Personally, I think we need a whole lot. They need to coach now, and JJ can do that late. Lakers do not need Leslie Attica. Nobody is leaking more than Jaylen Brown's head. And listen, bro. He makes far too much money to have that shit happen to his hair, bro. He makes way too much money for that shit to be happening. It is astonishing to me that he is allowing that to happen to him in his career, bro. That is unbelievable. If a team does not face adversity, it never goes well. Well, we'll see a lot. We'll see, Bruce, because it's possible they go through a little slump in the middle of this year. lose a couple games, have a couple tough games. I think last season, right? I think last season, what they had to deal with in particular were the injuries. Number one, and that was kind of what propelled Shea to have those 40s and 50s. So maybe they have another similar situation. I will say though, Bruce, they've been doing this without Jalen Williams, their second best player. So it might not look like adversity because they're winning basketball games and they look phenomenal, but they also are missing their second best player, who's a two-way guy in my opinion. So we'll see what happens to them. Always Iowa, UCLA, Ryan J. What's up, bro? This RC. Hell you been at? I've been moving, bro. We moved, bro. Yeah, where you been at? Oh, you moving harder than Mayweather in the ring. I got you. Hey, listen, bro. Somebody was asking me like, what suggestions do I have? You know, if you're moving, my suggestion is don't. Right? If you're gonna move, just don't move. It's a lot. It takes a lot. It costs a lot of fucking energy. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you could avoid moving, I would say avoid it. And we know you in Ohio. Just embarrassed to say, I would be embarrassed too. Yeah, in a goddamn trailer park, bro. Trailer park boys. But we've been all over the place to start this. Off. So let's start with the topic that we've already been kind of going over, which is Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers. So if you're gonna move, use those mobile little trailer pod things, but they cost a lot to get it. I will say having movers costs more, but I think it is worth it. Looking back on everything that we have done, it for sure costs more to have movers pack your things and move it for you, but it goes a long way. So pods are a good option, especially if you manage your time properly, but it's very difficult. It's been so long and so good. Gone back, Bruce. The Warriors suck. Gosh, I've missed you guys. I've missed y'all too. Luka and the Lost Lakers got smashed out big time. But hold on. Listen, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. A part of this channel is so I can get credit. Selfishly, part of this channel is so that I can say I'm not crazy and that people could back up the things that I say. I said the Lakers weren't good. I said this team sucks. Luka Doncic is just fucking unbelievable. So that's quite literally what the season has been for Luka and the LA Lakers. He is currently averaging 34.9 to go with 9.1 rebounds and 8.9 assists. Those numbers are right around what I said he would average for the year. And I get that it's early. I get that it's extremely early, right? 7 games. That's just saying he's averaging 37, right? So it's either 37 or 34. But whatever the case is, this guy is unstoppable. And he is, first and foremost, all that talk about weight loss, and he looks like Luka from 2 years ago. Like, they talked all about him losing all of this weight. Comes into the season, and they're talking about he gained weight, even though he looks skinnier than the end of the season last year. I don't know what's going on with this guy. But regardless of the fact, he is really fucking good at basketball. And he shows it every single night. Hold on, talking about that stat stuff, 45 shots, 31 misses. I wouldn't call the Lakers garbage, but one, they aren't as good as their record, and two, they wouldn't be better if they had LeBron out there. I think they would for sure be better if LeBron were out there, but you know, it's a different time for Bron. Listen, bro, nobody said that Luka was the most efficient player on earth, but 37 a game on 49% shooting is pretty unbelievable. This guy is quite literally as unstoppable as they come. And probably what should have happened last season, Nico Harrison got fired. Hey, I don't know if y'all remember this, but I told y'all I went to a Mavs game. And those guys were garbage. Those guys are awful. They are the 2025 Dallas Mavericks that play like it's 2004. It's fascinating watching the Dallas Mavericks play basketball. Right? There is no point guard out there. Their best point guard on that team currently that is able to play is named Najee Marshall. When I watched the game, Najee Marshall was the best player, was the best point guard that I saw on the Dallas Mavericks. Brunson has an ankle strain. Dang. Oh, does he really? Let me see. He's been dealing with ankle injuries, huh? He needs to go call Steph. He gotta go call Steph. If you had to start your franchise with one of them, would you choose SGA or Luka? Honestly, I would probably go with Luka. And I get that. That's obviously what they have, and by they I mean Shea and Nikola Jokic. That's what they have over Luka, is the championship and the MVP. But when you look at Luka play, he is that level, right? He is as good as those two guys just off the eye test. And for the shit that Luka gets, I think Luka needs less. I think it's Luka Doncic all day long between those two. The only player I would feasibly pick over Luka Doncic would be Nikola Jokic. That realistically, that would be the only player that I would pick. And listen, I think there is an argument for Shea being the best basketball player in the world. I will say, I mean, I know I'm all over the place, but I think there is an argument. Is he? Probably not, but I think he has a serious argument for sure. Clay had 3 devastating injuries: ACL, MCL, and Megan CL. Yo, Clay then had the magic hat thrown on him by Megan, and he is extra done. Clay might as well retire like D Rose did at this point. Yeah, I agree. I like I had high hopes for Klay Thompson, but listen, I was getting killed for this when the Dallas Mavericks first acquired Klay Thompson last year, right? And everyone was super hyped about him being with Luka. I said, yes, Klay Thompson is one of the best three-point shooters we have ever seen. But if he is going to stand there and spot up and shoot, it's not going to be the same Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is used to having certain sets ran for him. He knows when and where he's going to catch and shoot the basketball as opposed to randomness. And that was with Luka Doncic. Take Luka out of that. And now he's standing around waiting for shots with no point guard. It's obviously a lot worse. I get that, you know, Meg is becoming the reason for Klay Thompson having a terrible season. Listen, a lot of Mavericks fans were fucking killing me. Not this past summer, but the summer before, right? 2024. I was getting killed in my YouTube comments when I was questioning how Klay Thompson would fit in with the Dallas Mavericks. And look at what happens. Right? Look at what happens. Klay Thompson is not used to random basketball. Klay Thompson is used to a system where he knows where he's going to get his shots, where he's going to get his backdoors. Like, he's used to certain things. And without Luka, it looks a lot worse. A lot worse. What's wrong with being a system player? I wouldn't call SGA a system player, but he has the best defense that's allowed to be as physical as possible behind him. That helps a lot. Like, that helps a whole lot. Now, would Luka take some opportunities away from some of those guys because he has the ball in his hand a lot? Potentially. But if you gave Luka the absolute best defense in the league, I think it would be scary how that team would look. I would take SGA. He plays both ends. Is more efficient to me than Luka. No shade versus Luka, but SGA just knows how to get it now. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I just think Luka can do more with less. Personally, I just think he could do more with less. But who knows? If Shea didn't have the best defense in the league, his game could also be slightly different. So who knows? Yeah, Klay going outside with Meg. Exactly. No, it sucks for Klay Thompson, bro. His career is literally falling apart right before our eyes. It's a sad sight to see. Now, I wanted to talk about Cooper Flag. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. If Dallas trades / waves Klay, where's the best place for him to go? Then he needs to go where he can just play like a role player, spot up and shoot. Bench role like Mike Miller late in his career. I think the best place would be the Warriors, but I don't think he's gonna go back there. I think their relationship there is fractured. Honestly, if he's not going to follow Jokic, if he's not gonna follow Luka or Jokic, I don't know where the fuck he would go. Hey, listen, I hate Mikal Bridges. Hey, he could come play for the Knicks, baby. Hey, man, fuck all that Mikal Bridges shit. Yeah, he could come play for the Knicks with me. We need some shooting on that team. God damn it. Yeah, Luka's good. I think it's hard to win with Luka's style. It gets you far, not sure far enough. Ball has energy, and to expect the wing to shoot well after not touching the ball for a long time is tough. Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a guy that got to the conference finals in his second year in the league, second or third year, and then got to the finals. He was just fresh off the finals. And let's not forget the timeline, right? He had an injury early last season. That's why he came back overweight. I mean, you could say whatever you want. He should have been working out. He was injured, and that's why he came back out of shape. Still 28-8. Still 28-8. That was an overweight Luka. Had everything kind of played out the way it should have, he would have stayed in Dallas. He would have just gotten himself back into shape. That probably would have been another All-NBA appearance for him. Probably would have got to at least the second round, maybe the conference finals in the Western Conference. I mean, and that's with a team that I felt like wasn't very strong, right? Like that Dallas Mavericks team that Luka had, it was catered to him and his play style, but I didn't think that was the best version of that team. I think that there could have been some upgrades potentially at certain spots. They were a good team, but they weren't a great team. And Luka was the reason they went to the NBA Finals. And I get his style at times could be difficult, but this guy will keep you in games no matter what. He will keep you in games no matter what. Yeah, he got to the finals and it was an unfair matchup, but his style also let the Celtics load up on him, and majority of his shots were tough. Had to live like that. It's still very much a wait and see to see if Luka Doncic prime James Harden, Caitlin Clark style playground style basketball can actually win you a championship. Don't think Lively is as good now without Luka. I mean, yeah, he made those guys look good. I mean, I personally think Luka's gonna win a championship. I actually don't have a doubt in my mind that he's gonna win a chip in his career. That's just how I feel. That's how I felt before. That's how I feel now. Do I have critiques about his game? Absolutely, but I had that faith even with critiques. I just think he's that fucking good. The eye test will tell you that. And again, like this Lakers team is not very good. I can't even lie to you guys. I don't think this Lakers team is very good at all. DeAndre Ayton is very mid on most nights. Rui's game comes and goes. Jake's game comes and goes, and then after that you got Vanderbilt, Hayes, and fucking Bronny James. This is not a very good Los Angeles Lakers team. And he's gonna have to keep averaging 34 points a game. So don't read aloud next text I sent. What the fuck? Like, what does that even mean? Jerry, you're a Patriots or a Giants fan? I forgot. A Giants fan, not a Patriots fan for sure. Eli Olsh. Did I say that right? Eli Olsh. Eli Olsh, what's good? What's good, bro? Shout out to you. Thanks for subscribing, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, Eli. Thank you. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, these guys suck. I want to ask you guys this. I want a genuine answer from y'all. How good do you guys think Cooper Flag is? Do you guys think he's, has the potential to be one of the faces of the league? Is he just going to be like a really solid all-star? Or is he going to be a good role player? What category do you guys think Cooper Flag will end up in? Based on what y'all have seen so far out of him. Yeah, the Eli's finna take over the chat. Oh, shit. The Eli's. He's okay at best. Now, do you think that's because of the situation that he's in? Or have you just not seen anything that makes you say, wow? Because I'll be honest with you. I think his lowest is a very good all-star. I think that is his floor. His ceiling could potentially be very high. Because although I don't think he's a point guard, and even though I think he's been put in a really shit position, pause if necessary, right? Even though I think he's been put in a really, really bad spot, I've heard a lot of former pros talk about Giannis and how Jason Kidd brought Giannis in, showed him how to play point guard, let him have growing pains, and then ended up being the player that he is. And Giannis, as we know, he's not necessarily a point guard. He definitely needs the ball in his hand, but he's not necessarily a point guard. He just knows how to dictate pace and plays basketball well. Now, does Cooper Flag have the same tools as Giannis? No, I don't think so. But he does have more skill at that age. So I can see, I see the vision for sure. I can for sure see the vision. If we're talking about, what Jason Kidd was able to do with Giannis, and this idea of, I'm going to put you into the fire as early in the season as possible, so that when Kyrie comes back and is healthy, when Anthony Davis is healthy, that this kid has now gained a skill set that he didn't have before. And so with that being said, maybe this year ends up looking like real shit by the end of the year. I think eventually he'll be a very good basketball player in this league. Only say summer league, and I liked it very high level. It looks like not a comparison, but a big wing like a Lauri Markkanen or Jason Tatum with less offense and better defense. I think if Flag was in Washington or Charlotte, he could be a 15 to 21 points per game scorer nightly. He has his tough right now. His coach, while Nico fired and other stuff. Yeah, he is for sure going through it right now, bro. He is absolutely going through it right now.
Devin Vassell, throw it up.
What did I
time for an alley-oop.
I was like, what the hell just happened? What is Cooper Flag averaging right now? I mean, Ryan, RC, you said if Cooper Flag were on Washington or Charlotte, he could be a 15 to 21 point per game scorer nightly. He's averaging 15.1 right now on 42.1% shooting from the field and 28.6 from the field. And so 6.8 rebounds, 3.3 assists. And that's and this is him playing bad. 15, 6.8, and 3.3 assists. And that's, someone with, that's an 18-year-old in the NBA that hasn't really adjusted yet. 12 games in. I get he's got some really rough nights. And, we've seen this in the NBA before. when you're a lottery pick, and especially when you're one of these super hype number 1 picks, all NBA teams go after you. And now you are playing out of position as the point guard, being the point of attack for your team. So, there's a lot going against him, and I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do despite, the situation that he's been put in. So I think his floor is a very solid all-star, and I think quite literally sky is the limit for Cooper Flag. So we'll see what happens. It's unconventional what Jason Kidd is doing, but it could potentially really work, especially if this kid has those intangibles that we talk about, right? If he has, if he's able to really adjust to this game, to the NBA game, I think he could be really, really good. Fire page fam, I appreciate you, Eli Nelson. I appreciate you. Also, let's give him time, but I don't see why Flag won't develop into a really good starter. I agree. I think he could develop into one of the better players in the league. Whether he's one of the best or the face is a whole nother situation, but he's a very good player. Oh, he is. I didn't know. He must have been coming along more recently. Someone called him Bronny Flag. Hey, listen. When I was at that Mavericks game, I saw him hit 3 shots in a row, but also turn the ball over twice and get scored on. Like, he is for sure he's experiencing everything, right? I think that's the thing about this scenario, right? By the time All-Star break hits, he would have experienced damn near every player trying to isolate him on defense. Every player trying to score on him. On offense, they're trying to take the ball out of his hand. They're doubling him. They're switching him. They're late doubling him. Honestly, the worst thing that Cooper Flag does, and if you watch him, he does this a lot, especially if he's on the left side of the floor. He turns his back, right? If Cooper Flag is on the left wing, he turns his back to the left corner every single time. It's an adjustment he's going to have to make because he's missed Klay Thompson a bunch of times in that corner. PJ Washington, he's missed in that left corner. And so if he keeps doing that, and they're going to turn him around because his ball handling he's not a point guard, right? His ball handling is good. It's not great. And so, there's little adjustments that he can make that'll go a long way. But even with all of that being said, 15.1, 6.8, and 3.3. Unbelievable. Now, we got to talk about probably, I'm gassing myself on being right on a bunch of things. But when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers, I couldn't be any more wrong. Don't sleep on the Pistons either. What are they now? 10-2 and leading the East. Is it their time? We're going to talk about them. I got some shit to say about Cade Cunningham, man. We are going to get to them for sure. But I wanted to talk about Cooper Flag's counterpart, who's been, talked about a lot this season, which is VJ Edgecombe. And I was right and wrong about this situation with Philadelphia. I said in the summertime that this team needs to move forward with their guards. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain, and Quentin Grimes. Those, in my opinion, are the 4 players they need to build around. You get 2 to start, 2 to come off the bench, and those are your guys. Fuck Joel Embiid. fuck Paul George, fuck everybody else. Build around those 4 players. And God damn it, Tyrese Maxey has been him. Hey, man. I used to be delusional and think I could play for the Pistons when they were losing 28 games in a row. Not anymore. For sure, not anymore. But we got to give Tyrese Maxey some gas. 32.1 points per game so far this year. In 10 games. This guy, Tyrese Maxey, is good, bro. Bro, same. Oh my fucking God, Philly's infuriating. They do terrible business, and I strongly dislike the vets like Joel and PG, but the young talent on the team is actually performing, so it's masked well. I said this last season, and I'm all for players getting their money. But hey, Elijah, I think you can attest to this. I don't know if you remember. I was screaming for Tyrese Maxey to leave this team. Screaming. Tyrese Maxey needs to leave the Philadelphia 76ers because I truly believe that this franchise is cursed. I truly believe that this franchise is cursed. So, I mean, I didn't see 32.1 points per game out of Maxey, but my God, I thought he was good. And I don't think this franchise is going to do him any favors. So if he wants to protect his career, he needs to get the fuck out of Philadelphia. And I think VJ Edgecombe is going to have to do the same thing eventually. Jared McCain also. Quentin Grimes, if somebody signs you, if anyone offers you any more than the 76ers, you need to fucking run. But I truly believe that because I think these guys are really, really good. VJ Edgecombe, I mean, what an athlete this guy is. I started rolling out the Scotty and Maxey propaganda. I don't think it's going to happen, dog. We want Tyrese Maxey to get recognition, not get less recognition, bro. We are not even going to notice him averaging 32 a game if he's on Toronto. I promise you. No one's going to know. No one's going to know but you and Black Canadian, bro. I promise you. If Maxey was doing this on Toronto, no one would fucking know, bro. It would be really sad. Yeah, we need to get him. We need to get him in a totally different situation. Anywhere outside of Philadelphia or Toronto. I'm just being real, bro. I'm just being real. Hey. Yeah, he's getting no love. He barely getting love in Philadelphia, scoring 32. He's doing some Allen Iverson shit, and they don't want to give him love. Embiid is finished like last year's Thanksgiving turkey, Jay. Listen, again, listen, I might just have to, we might just literally have to go through my channel every fucking episode, bro. Because, where is this? I was calling for Joel Embiid to retire last season. This is 8 months ago. No bullshit. Wait, why is that not? Why is that not? The fuck? Huh. Why is it not doing the thing? Oh, right here. Bro, 8 months ago, I was saying Joel Embiid needs to retire. 8 fucking months ago. So again, like, we not wrong, bro. We are never wrong. Just early. Never wrong. Just early, bro. Toronto got a super easy schedule, and they might be second in the Eastern Conference by the end of the month. Hopefully, Ryan hip we on that. When did you become a Toronto Raptors fan, Ryan? What is going on with this community, bro? I've never seen a player that plays for my own team make me hate them so strongly like Joel Embiid. And the worst part about Joel Embiid, the absolute worst part about it, his ceiling is the best player in the world. Right? Like, fully healthy Joel Embiid is quite literally going toe-to-toe, looking Nikola Jokic in the eye for the best player on the planet. But he just can't stay healthy. He just cannot stay healthy. Eli takeover, Raptors takeover. I mean, you're not lying, Elijah. You're not lying. You are not wrong at all. So, you know, we got some real good, some really, really good young players in the league. Now, speaking of another young player, excuse me, you had brought it up just earlier, RC. Where is it? Now, speaking of another young player, the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit fucking Pistons, man. Listen, if it wasn't for Detroit, my 1 and 2 was right. We got Cleveland and New York up there. Cade Cunningham is unreal, bro. They lost Dennis Schroeder, lost Malik Beasley, lost Tim Hardaway, and are somehow leading the Eastern Conference. And I got to give a lot of props. Jalen Duren has been unbelievable, but Cade Cunningham has just been, he's just been a different breed. Well said, insane player at his peak, but he has shown he will not be healthy for a real playoff run. And rather than get aggressive and attack defenders, he takes terrible shots. No, for sure. I will say, though, I think a part of that that we're just not privy to when guys start taking really bad shots, I think injury has to do with a lot of that also. Guys just are out there forcing themselves, so it just turns into a lot of step backs and fadeaways because they don't have the physical ability to constantly attack the rim. Is what I personally think happens to a lot of guys when we're like, why do they keep settling for shots like that? Some of it is settling. I think part of it is also injuries just piling up. But we got to talk about Detroit, man. And in particular, where are these guys? Where is Cade Cunningham? Because I got to give bro some love, man. He has been killing this year. Where is his recent where are his recent games? On the 10th, when he had 46 points on 45 shots. I was gonna say Cade and Duren may be able to throw their name in that for best duo. They look good, and I want to make sure y'all can hold me accountable as the season goes on. I want to give Cade a lot of love, but I can't do that without also giving Jalen Duren some love because he's been unreal. It unlocks what Cade is able to do, right? What do you think about Cade taking 45 shots? I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that don't like it, right? This is what I think about it. Is it great? Is it great that he took that many shots? Right? Not necessarily, but I don't actually have a problem with the 45 shots. And here's why. That game to me felt like the first time Shea dropped 50 last season. And he took a lot of shots to get there, and he had dropped 50 in a bunch of other games. But to me, up until that 50-point game, it felt like Shea was content with scoring 30. And it got to the point where it almost looked like he would slow down when he would get to 30. Instead of being the player that's, all right, we go 30, all right, 35, let's go get 40, 45, and so on and so forth. And I totally understand when it comes to a basketball sense in terms of a team game. You know, some people don't love that. But if you have the ability to do so, you need to be a threat. And I think Cade taking this step and saying, I can shoot this many shots and go and get 50. Because Cade Cunningham has proven time and again that he will make the right basketball play. He will give the basketball up. He's not selfish. So sometimes I know for damn sure his coach looks at him like, I need you to be more aggressive. I need you to try and look for your shot a little bit more. I'm sure those are some of the conversations that he has with his coach, instead of the other way around where coaches are like, I need you to stop shooting a little bit, bro. I think he has the opposite. And I think that game showed that not only can he win while taking a lot of shots, but that he should have had 70 that night. Like, he quite literally should have had 70. And I talk about confidence a lot on this channel. Confidence takes a player from here to here. And sometimes seeing that little bit of light, right? Peeking through the peephole and seeing what he could potentially be. And he's talked about, you know, trying to be one of the best players in the league. I think that 45 field goal attempts and they won goes a long way. And I think for someone like him, who's shown that he's not a selfish player, that he consistently makes the right plays, I think it was a positive. So I that was a very long way to break that down, but that's really what I think about it. I don't mind it to win one night. What I don't like are the narratives. Russ or Fred does it. They suck. Cade does it to an extreme. He is Kobe. I just don't like the fickleness of NBA spaces. It's just sports. It's just sports shit. It's just sports shit. I definitely agree with that. He isn't taking that many shots. Just take them. He's always been a guy who gets teammates involved. And not for nothing, there was nobody on their team that day. Everybody was out. The twin was out. Like, everybody was out. So who else was about to take shots but him? Right? Like, realistically speaking, who else was going to take shots? And he had a triple-double. It's not like he had 46 on 45 shots and had 2 assists. Like, he found a way to get 11 assists, had 5 steals, had 2 blocks. I mean, he was doing everything out there. So, does it look pretty on the stat sheet? No. Is it necessary sometimes? I do think so. Right? I do think so. And so, he's having a hell of a season. He's having a hell of a season. And he's got to make up for a lot that they're missing. So for them to be at 10-2 on top of the Eastern Conference, it says a lot about Cade Cunningham. It says a lot about Cade Cunningham. Now, to go from one young player who's trending up, I gotta ask, where do y'all think John Morant's about to go? Hey, man. Y'all know I'm very high on Tuomas Lisalo. I like the Grizzlies coach, man. I went down the rabbit hole. I was watching his interviews, his philosophies on the game, and I'm a fan. But he didn't have to suspend Ja like that, man. Like, there are going to be confrontations between your best player and the head coach, right? He, as a head coach, needs to understand that. And I think that's the struggle that a lot of these European coaches with these European mindsets, they come over to the NBA and think that they could just, that they could just hold on, let's get it one more time. Are you talking about Tuomas Lisalo? I don't even know. Toronto. I know Elijah about to say the Raptors. Bro, this guy wants the Team USA on the Raptors. He wants the internet. He wants everybody, bro. He wants everybody. Hey, man, like, y'all not about to get Ja. I don't know where the fuck Ja's gonna go. If I had to take a guess, like a real guess, something is saying Miami or like Atlanta. That's just where my brain is saying. I don't really have any real reasons as to why. I do think Atlanta, when it comes to, Trae Young has been kind of up and down over there. If they called Atlanta and said, "Hey, do you want to trade Ja for Trae?" I think they would have to at least think about that. I don't know who I would say is better today. But I think Ja, it's been like 2-3 years at this point. But at one point, Ja was an MVP candidate. And then he obviously went down and everything happened after that. But I would love to see Ja, get back to it again. And I think he's also kind of like Ja, Bobby philosophy, bring talent through the door. Figure out fit later. Wow, I let myself down with that one. I do also think that Ja is really suffering from the shift that's happened in the NBA the last 2 years. It's really bad timing, right? The fact that he went through everything that he went through and then the injury. And in those 2 seasons, I feel like the NBA has shifted a lot. The NBA, as it is right now, it's not a lot of pick and roll basketball, especially when you think of like the way the Shays and the way that, that Luka gets to his baskets. It's still a lot of one-on-one, but there's a lot less pick and roll. It's people are kind of moving off of the ball more than they've been doing in years past. So I think there's been a shift in the game. And then also Ja's jumper, even though it's improved, hasn't improved quite enough to where he's a serious threat to allow him to get into the lane and break the defense down. So I think that's really where he's suffering from, on top of everything that's happening in his situation with Memphis. So I hope he gets out of there. Like, truthfully, I hope he gets out of there. people are quitting on Ja this quick are stupid, bro. He'll be fine. I will say, Eli, I've been talking about that MVP candidate season that he had. And each day that goes by, that becomes more of a thing of the past, right? There's only so many seasons we could say, well, Ja was just an MVP candidate, and one day you're gonna look up and that was 5 fucking seasons ago, right? So that will happen very quickly if he doesn't end up in a situation that's beneficial for him. If you're a GM, do you go for Ja or nah? But quickly, wait, what the fuck did he just say? Ochai Agbaji plus a pick. Bring up. Yo, is this guy even talking English, bro? Hey, I didn't know you was picking up a new language in the last 2 weeks, bro. I promise you I didn't know. If you're a GM, do you go for Ja or nah? It really depends on two things. Depends on two things. Do you have vets on the team? That's number one. Do you have vets that you are confident Ja will listen to and that those vets will be patient with Ja? Right? So that is number one. Right? Number one. Number two, do you have shooters? If you have those two things, I think you seriously look at Ja if you need a point guard and a star. But if you don't, if you're missing one of those two, I think you make your life a living hell. You make your life a living hell with this situation. Not necessarily, and not necessarily because of Ja. I just think there's so much that comes with him at this point. It's just a lot to inherit as a team and as a general manager, if we're just being totally honest. He's foaming at the mouth just thinking about Ja to Toronto. Don't mind him. I'm not gonna lie. Can't be MVP if the NBA suspend you 25 games. Who said he was MVP? I said he was a candidate. Toronto checks off all of those. Alright, bro. We're like like what? What? Like, what are you saying? Hey, Elijah. My dad didn't think I was right about Wemby when I said he has a real shot at the MVP this season. That boy got a real shot at the MVP this season. Yo. Hold on. I get that Wemby looks very awkward sometimes. I get it. I totally get it. He looks very awkward sometimes. But boy, is this guy Wemby good. And it genuinely feels like he keeps getting better. Like it genuinely feels like this guy keeps getting better. His clutch factor is getting better. His moves are getting better. What kind of package could they get if they do trade him? If it's not a star for a star, like a Trae Young or something like that, you got to think of like a solid role guy and a young player plus draft picks. I think, you know, with everything going on, I don't know if there's a massive market for Ja Morant right now. If you're to grade him, honestly, right? He's a shifty point guard with not a great 3-point shot. And right now that's kind of a tough ask in this league. Bro, I'm watching. This guy Wemby is not a real player, bro. Wemby nuts, man. My only critic is he genuinely looks lost a lot of the time. His positioning is just a little off to me. And I think that's because he's just not a center. He is just not a true center. He's a guard put in a 7'4" body. So Emmanuel quickly puts chat, bro. This guy is just off the rocker. I will say I do think that Wemby does a much better job of getting a shot off in a phone booth, which he was kind of struggling with last year, right? If you only gave him 2 or 3 dribbles, his ability to get a shot off in 2 or 3 dribbles was not always great, but this season he is much, much better at it. His 3-ball looks even better this year than it did last year. Boy, if I was that tall, I'd be in the NBA. Hey, listen, bro. I mean, Mo Bamba was not this good. Who was the other one? Shit, there was another one. Like, guys have been this tall, but they're just not this good. And I hate when Shaq keep comparing them. Like, these guys are not Wemby. Like, Wemby is well, listen, I get that they lost last night. I 100% get that Steph had a 46-point game. He was beast. And they won 125-120. But we're not going to gloss over the fact that Wemby had a 31-point triple-double on 50% shooting from the field and 42.9 from 3. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Like, that's just phenomenal. Now, Wemby is good. I just like saying that to tall people. I'd like him to get more weight on him, man. No reason why, man, that tall should be absolutely dominant in the paint, not taking 3-pointers. Shaq be trying to say he's Shaq and Giannis. No, you were not. Yeah, I do think though, and honestly, like, he could put on weight. Giannis is a anomaly, right? Typically guys, you know, their physique can change, but not to the extent that Giannis, you know, his transformation, right? But I do think he can benefit from just, you know, a little bit more weight. But we also got to remember, right? Like, this guy is still 21 years old. Like, this guy just became legal to drink. Excuse me. And he will naturally gain weight over the years, right? 21 years old. Let me read this off. 26.2 on 50.5% from the field, 34% from 3, 85.2% from the free throw line, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.1 steals, 3.6 blocks. Imagine how he's going to look at 23, 24, right? After naturally just playing in the league, just understanding it, getting used to the contact, to the physicality, and just naturally, you know, growing with time. Jason Tatum is only 9. Yo, what are you saying today, bro? Hey, listen, Elijah, I missed you too, bro. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Yeah, that boy Wemby gonna be around for a long time. That's a good point. Like, you know, he can gain weight, but he's also 21. Like, it's just like at 21, you lose weight by accident. A serious question: am I worse than the 6'7" kid? I just can't help myself. I'm so excited. Truthfully, no. Truthfully, no. Those kids are awful. I've seen a chat, all 6-7 spams. It was unbelievable. But also the other thing I want to point out, when it comes to Wemby, 29.7 minutes in his rookie year, 33.2 last year, 34.3 this year. So the progression in minutes played and all of that, his numbers are going up. Efficiency, this is the most efficient he's been, while also scoring the most, right? So all positives. Does he have a shot at the MVP? I think he probably ends in the top 5. Probably 4th. Yeah, I think he ends up 4th. The defensive player of the year will get him at least the 4th spot in MVP votes by the end of the season, in my opinion. Plus, what he's doing on offense. So that's where I think he'll end up. But outside of him, it's a 3-man race with Luka, Shea, and Jokic, and those are gonna be the 3 names for the rest of the season. I think Wemby is gonna be the first outsider to kind of break into that conversation. Not to change the subject, but what are your realistic expectations for Houston this year? I think a realistic expectation out of Houston, I thought Fred was a big loss for them. I thought Fred VanVleet was a really, really big loss. If I were Houston, no bullshit, if I were Houston, I would have called San Antonio. During that beginning when the Spurs were 5-0, and Fox was out, and obviously Fred was already out, I would have tried to get De'Aaron Fox. I would have genuinely tried to get De'Aaron Fox. Because I think if you bring De'Aaron Fox, it takes pressure off of KD. And De'Aaron Fox already played with a Sabonis, so I think he wouldn't have to make such a big adjustment to someone like a Sengun. But can also take pressure off of Sengun and be the point guard. So I think if they would have made that trade, a realistic expectation would have been the Western Conference Finals. I think right now, the Western Conference Finals is stretching it. I think realistically they get bounced out in the second round. But that's just like, I'm trying to picture how they would look against, if they run into the Nuggets or the Thunder for some reason in the second round. I think they would have lost to either one of those guys. And then, if I don't know what the hell Wemby's on this year, but that's a toss-up series in my opinion, because they have absolutely nothing that they could throw at Wemby. And then I love KD. But if they run into on fire Luka, I think Luka can quite literally potentially beat any team in a series if he decides to have that type of series. So I think Houston probably gets bounced out in the second round this year. Is it possible they make it to the Western Conference Finals? I think it's possible, but I think they go out in the second round. Fox to Houston would have been so cold. I agree, bro. Houston, I want to be Raptors. KD equals BI, Sengun equals Yak, and Amens. Bro. This is no disrespect to Scotty Barnes. If Amen Thompson can figure out how to actually shoot a basketball, he's a top 10 player in the league. Like, that's a very different from Scotty Barnes. No disrespect to Scotty Barnes, but that's Amen Thompson's potential. If he could get a jump shot, he's a top 10 player in the league. Like, easily a top 10 player in the league. That guy's unbelievable. You guys saw when he saved the ball from going out of bounds and then came back and dunked on the alley-oop. Like, that shit's unreal. They could throw the kitchen sink at Wemby, but maybe too tall, too French. No, that I agree, bro. I totally agree. I will say, because I gotta mention them. Two things. I don't think those twins will be best in draft class. I do agree. I really like those two. Elijah, you could attest to this. I told you Phoenix would look a lot better than people thought. I told you Phoenix would look a lot better than people thought, number one. And number two, I told y'all the Golden State Warriors were going to be ass. Yo, karma is a real thing. Because they did that whole situation with Kuminga, and now they're fucked. They're fucked. Because they're still not playing him to where he is super effective and he is a part of their team for real. Number one. But number two, it just ruins the synergy that this team has, who's all about team basketball and moving the ball around and all of that stuff. It's really, I think, hurt their team and their philosophy, because this guy is here just for a contract, and they could have used him in a different scenario, but not the one that's at hand. So that team is really fucked. Phoenix, like I said, Phoenix is a lot better than people thought, and I thought that they would be better than what people thought. So 7th in the West, 7-5. That's pretty good to start the year. If you are the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, we cook Golden State all the time. You know, it's funny, Eli. For a while, I'm looking at Golden State like, I like this old ass team. And then as the summer went on and as this Kuminga situation kept going, I'm like, no, I don't like this old ass team. This team does not look good, and they don't look good right now. All that moving the ball shit, like, I'll put it this way, and you know, you're not supposed to say anything bad about Steph Curry, right? Because Steph is one of the GOATs of this game. But I'm going to just keep it real. 25 a game ain't enough. And this is something I've said about Steph Curry before, where he's never been a on-ball, ball dominant type of player. He's going to go down, run pick and rolls, dictate the offense. Like, they had a system where it forced a lot of gravity to Steph Curry, right? Their team and their off-ball movement created a ton of chaos. Without those players in place, and because Steph Curry has never been a isolation or a pick and roll heavy player, all that team shit, when your team is not that good, gets thrown out the window. Right? Like I said, the only reason why the Lakers are 8-4 and they're 5th is because Luka is quite literally 1v5ing. Right? It's not because this is some great cohesive team. They're not a fucking unit. Like, it's Luka and Austin Reeves. And as great as Steph Curry has been his entire career, he's just never been that, I'm going to go down, take every shot, and just dictate this game and force this team and this game into my comfort zone, because he still needs to get set up to an extent. And you get a Jimmy Butler that's not a 25 point per game. Like, what they need from this team is 30 from Steph and 25 from Jimmy. Like that's realistically, if we're talking about just strictly numbers, that is what they need. That is what they need. Like, Steph needs 30 and Jimmy needs 25. I hate that, though. At his age, I feel like an efficient 25 should be good. Golden State has failed him, not the other way around. You feel me? They gave him the unction on his final year, shaking my damn head. No, listen, I totally agree with you, Eli. It shouldn't be him anymore, right? I said this about LeBron and the Lakers, right? I was questioning this when it was Anthony Davis. I'm like, why the fuck isn't Anthony Davis the best player on this team with old-ass LeBron? I said this last year with the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant. Why the hell are we looking at Kevin Durant when there's a Devin Booker right there? The problem with the Warriors is there is no other guy. The potential other guy, and I don't believe he's this, but Jonathan Kuminga was potentially the only person that they've had that wants to be that 30-point per game guy that could let Steph's efficient 25 be unbelievable. Right? There is no other player for him to lean on. Right? There is no other player, because Jimmy Butler also fucking 35 years old. Like, it's not like he getting a 25-year-old Jimmy. Like, Jimmy also 35. And so, unfortunately, in this situation, I think they actually need more out of Steph, and he's just doing the best he can. Rui gave his best attempt at the Edgar cut. There was a time he was a legit number 2 for them when Klay was still there. Got rid of Poole too. There is no Devin Booker for me to look at on the Golden State Warriors and say that this is the 29-year-old that you should be focusing on, not Steph Curry. They just don't have that. And they haven't had that. So, that's where the Warriors are right now. I will say, because I saw I saw Jeff Teague and the boys say this when I said this a year ago. You could attest to this also, Elijah. I said last season that the Warriors should try to get Sabonis. And now all of a sudden we got guys talking, oh my God, what if Sabonis goes to the Warriors? Dog, I was on this a year ago. An entire calendar year ago. I was saying Sabonis should go to the Warriors. But, I mean, I can go fuck myself. Apparently, this Ryan Rollins kid was there too. Not sure how far that would be, though, to penalize Warrior for that one. You know what's funny? You know what's real funny? Who I could envision, who I could envision Steph kind of teaching and kind of like taking the reins. That guy's in Boston right now, and his name is Anthony Simons, who's been killing for Boston. I feel like Anthony Simons would go kind of crazy on the Warriors. He's had some really, really big games recently. But I feel like Anthony Simons could, if given the right tools and you could put him in the system. He's got a little bit Damian Lillard in him. Steph could have taught him some, but you get a guy that's a little bit more of an isolation player, teach him to be off the ball. I think Anthony Simons could have been a really good potential to take Steph's spot. Obviously, he's not Steph Curry, but just trying to think of a young player that could potentially do that because there aren't very many of them. Obviously, without naming like a Wemby or an Anthony Edwards or one of those guys. Which, speaking of Anthony Edwards, how the fuck are these guys 6 with a 7-4 record, man? Listen, I like Anthony Edwards' game a lot. I think he's really good. I think he's really, really good. But 27.1 with 4.1 rebounds and 3.3 assists is just not going to cut it, bro. All of his numbers were down. All of his numbers are down. Points are down. Rebounds are down. Assists are down. Steals are down. Everything is down for Anthony Edwards. And I think this is a really big season for him. I talked about Wemby putting his hat into that MVP convo. I think it is time, not for Anthony Edwards to necessarily win it, because I think those three guys are so established in that race. But I think it's time for Anthony Edwards to start creeping into that MVP conversation. And with what he's done so far, I don't think it's going to cut it. Bro was screaming for that move. What move? The Sabonis move or Anthony Simons on the Warriors? I think Sabonis would go crazy in Golden State. I think if the Golden State Warriors have Sabonis, Steph Curry averages 30. I'm going to just put that out there. I think if the Golden State Warriors have Sabonis, Steph Curry averages 30. Point blank, period. And if they can somehow keep Jimmy Butler, oh my God. Oh my God, that shit would go crazy. I like, that's when you start, oh shit, okay, Sabonis with a Steph and a Jimmy, okay, that trio looks really good. Like, that trio starts to look really, really good. But hey man, that Kings team is cooked. And by the way, too, everybody was giving Russ shit, and he's had a very solid season so far. Had some big triple-double games, just some big games all around for Russell Westbrook. And, we could have really used him off the bench, man, for my New York Knicks. They need to let Fly be the GM, please, no. It just makes so much sense to me. They can move on from Draymond, and it's a lot easier to start building for real. No, I 1000% agree. Like, Sabonis fits the Warriors in terms of their style of play, their culture. Like, he fits that team through and through. It blows my mind that that time they were talking about Lauri Markkanen. I'm like, y'all are looking at the wrong big guy. Y'all should be trying to get Sabonis. And I get that Lauri Markkanen is a phenomenal player, but they should be looking at Sabonis. And I think Sabonis could really extend Steph's career. And like I said, I think if Sabonis were on the team, I think Steph would average 30 pretty easily. Like, he gets Steph an additional 5 points on accident. But that's just how I feel about that situation. Now, let me see if there is anything else for me to talk about. I think we've pretty much covered everything for today. Yeah, I think we've covered everything for today, man. There's only so much we could cover when it comes to the last 2 weeks of basketball. So this is the game plan. This is the game plan, right? This is the game plan. I'm usually live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it's obviously a Thursday. We were actually all over the place. We were talking about Sabonis to the Warriors, among other things. Raptors on track to win NBA Cup. See, that's my sign to get the fuck off, bro. Like, once Elijah get off of talking about who the Raptors should pick up and start talking about stuff that the Raptors could win, that's my cue to get the fuck off. So here's the game plan. I'll be live tomorrow again. Hopefully I can figure out how to get this shit to record, because it's not recording. Great to find this page. I'll be tuning in, fam. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, Eli. Jay, Phoenix is overachieving or underachieving. You think haven't even had Jalen Green play yet? RC, I don't know if you saw it, but I was preaching that Phoenix was going to be a lot better than people thought this year. A lot of people thought that they were going to be bottom. I thought they were going to be a much better team than people anticipated. I know that Dillon Brooks gets a lot of hate. I think every stop he's been at, from Memphis to Houston to now the Suns, he has been a positive. Regardless of how you feel about Dillon Brooks, he is a net positive for any team he has been on. So, I think they are right where, probably overachieving a little bit, but roughly, they're around where I thought they would be. I didn't think they'd be at the very bottom of the league. So I think they're around where they're supposed to be. Elijah, no shade, but the Commissioner Cups does absolutely nothing for me. Thank God y'all have been on the same team this whole episode. Thank God. But yeah, so this should mean something to me, man. Yeah, no, the fuck it don't. So, obviously there's some games tonight. We'll cover those games tomorrow. See what games do we have coming up tonight, actually, so we could check. Now we got 3 games. So you got the Cleveland game, the Suns game, Jazz and Hawks. So I'll be live again tomorrow, roughly around the same time. I'm still trying to figure out what timing looks like, but Devin Booker to the T-Wolves for Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley Jr. Bro, hell no. I don't like. I'm not a fan of Rudy, but I don't like that trade. I'm not a fan of Rudy, but I do not like that trade at all, bro. I don't even fuck with Rudy like that. But hey, man, that's gonna do it for me for now. I will see you guys tomorrow. Around the same time, let's just call it 4 Central again. It's the Cleveland game. No, it's the Cleveland game. That is exactly what we doing. And then the bum ass Pacers against the Suns. So Suns about to be 8-5. But that's going to do it for me for now, man. Thank you guys so much. I miss y'all. I'm glad to be back. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate y'all for that. So thank you so much. I will see y'all back here tomorrow. You have a great rest of y'all night, man. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Peace out, y'all. Peace out, y'all. See y'all later, man. Have a good one. Peace.